friends. So I am back in Austin from Mexico City. I got back 2 days ago and I had the time of my life in Mexico City. Like I always have the time of my life in Mexico City, but this trip really, it stood out to me. I think because I've grown as a person since the last time I was there. So this trip, like feeling better about myself than I ever have and having more confidence than I ever have and my energy being in the right place. I just feel like, wow, this trip I really attracted well. Like specifically in regards to people, I feel like the people I met were outstanding and really led to me feeling a big sense of growth in just 10 days. My trip was 10 days long. But today, what I want to talk about is dating in Mexico City versus dating in Austin. One thing I want to touch on right away is when I'm in Mexico City, the men that I meet, they know that I'm only there for a short time and that I don't live there. I do always mention that I travel to Mexico City pretty often, but yeah, I live in Austin. And when I'm in Austin, the men know that I live here. So I do think that that could potentially lead to a difference in dating. I would love to see how dating changes if the men in Mexico City thought that I was there long term. And how the dating in Austin would change if the men here thought I was here short term. But yeah, so that's that. So now let's hop into it. So in Mexico City, there are 4 men that I went on dates with. So 2 are Mexican and neither of them grew up in Mexico City, but nearby. And then 1 is Italian and 1 is Lebanese. So a nice little mix in there. And with all 4 of them, I went on more than 1 date with. 3 of them I hope to see again one day. There's only 1 of them that I probably won't hang out with again, but things ended nicely. I think just our ways of communicating were different. No, I don't know. 1, just the connection's not there. That's all. That's all. So things that stand out to me. 1 with dating in Mexico City is I feel like we are much quicker to be vulnerable with each other than dating in Austin. And then with being vulnerable with someone, of course, that leads to a feeling of connection. So for me, I feel like in Mexico City, with dating in Mexico City, I feel like quicker connection to the men than when I've dated in Austin. The next difference is communication. I personally feel, at least the men that I attract in Mexico City are very direct. Like the communication is great and I always feel secure. I'm really never questioning or why didn't he message me? The expectations are things are just set up front so that I really don't have any wonder. I love that. That is the best thing ever. To be honest, even with one of the guys, I messaged him saying, wow, I can tell that my own communication has improved just by watching or seeing the way that he communicates with me. And yeah, that's of course something I'm gonna just continue with, being direct. That's amazing. And one thing I realize is sometimes maybe I've had a fear of being direct or telling someone something they don't want to hear out of the thought that, they might respond impolitely to me. But now I'm 100% aware, if I politely tell someone something that they don't want to hear, hey, I'm not interested in you, if they get mad at me for it, well then they're not right for me anyways. That's just a double confirmation. But yeah, the communication and like the feeling of secureness. That is something I'm just going to carry on with me. Like if I'm seeing someone here in Austin and I do see I'm not feeling secure, well, now I'm just going to talk to them about it. Whereas in my past, I may have not said something about it because of not wanting them to think I'm needy, you know, all that. But it's like, no, just say it and like keep the air clear between you. Yeah, so there's that. And then another big thing is, so in Mexico City, out of the 4 men I went on dates with, 3 of them found me and approached me first or messaged me first. Only one of them I messaged first through Bumble. And that's interesting because the one who I messaged first is the only one who I don't plan to see again. But the 3 who pursued me and found me, I would really love to see again. Absolutely. So that's interesting. That being said, I think it's just in Mexico City, it seems easier to find high quality men that I have a genuine interest in. In Austin, I feel like it just seems a bit harder to find men that I'm excited to go on more than 1 date with, you know, or more than 2 dates with. I feel like maybe for the first date I'm excited, but we go on the date and it's just like, okay, there's some reason why it doesn't seem like it's going to carry to the next level, or like, yeah, or the conversation is just more surface level. And I'm not feeling like, oh, I can't wait to chat with them again. You know, I don't feel a sense of learning the way that I do when I dated in Mexico City. Yeah, why is that? I'm not certain, but actually I just had a therapy call. And so one thing that I was talking to my therapist about is, so I am mixed. My mom is white and my dad is African. So he's black, which made me, which is brown. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that. They just assume I'm completely black, but actually I have a white mother. And yes, I was born out of her. I'm not adopted. People used to always ask me if I was adopted or tell me that I was adopted. But no, I'm not. I'm just mixed. So with being mixed, for me, I 100% can relate to not feeling black enough for the black people and not being white enough for the white people. Like, I really don't, I identify as being mixed. That identity suits me the most, you know? And I was talking to my therapist and I told her, like, I just feel like I fit in more in Mexico City than I do in Austin. So Minnesota, where I'm from, I really didn't fit in. Austin, I felt like, wow, I fit in here so much more than Minnesota. And that's why I moved here. And then once I went to Mexico City, I was like, whoa, I feel like I fit in here more than I fit in Austin. And so talking to my therapist, I was like, we're thinking, why would that possibly be? And one thing that did come to mind is like, well, a lot of Mexican people are mixed as well, you know, with having some sort of indigenous background and Spanish. So yeah, indigenous and European. And for me, I have the European background from my mom, which is German and Irish, and then my dad is from Liberia, African. So it's like, maybe that, I think that could be a little bit of it. Like, the people there are mixed, right? You would consider that mixed. I guess like the Lebanese guy and the Italian guy aren't considered mixed, but I guess them traveling, like maybe that traveler mentality connects us more, or yeah, there's some similarity within that. So anyways, these are the thoughts right now. All in all of that was to say that right now, I guess I just feel more of a connection, and dating for me is easier in Mexico City than in Austin. That's for sure. We'll see what's to come. Love you all. Sorry this video was late, but it's here, so we're okay. And yeah, I'll be back next week on Tues Dizzle. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. Yeah, just keeping it real. I love you all. Hug yourself today. Hug your family and friends. Let's go. Let's grow. We out.